Have you ever wondered if your favorite music genre has a dark, hidden past? What if the melodies you love were born from curses, crimes, and chaos? Stay tuned, because what you're about to discover will change the way you listen to music forever. Inshallah, this will be the best decision of your life. Number 10. The Devil's Blues. The blues, a genre synonymous with soulful melodies and heartfelt lyrics. But beneath its melancholic tunes lies a tale of darkness and despair. Originating in the deep south of the United States, the blues was more than just music. It was an expression of pain, suffering, and the harsh realities of life. Many early blues musicians were African-American sharecroppers who used music as an outlet for their struggles. However, the genre's association with the devil became a prominent theme, especially with legends like Robert Johnson, who was rumored to have sold his soul at a crossroads in exchange for musical prowess. Pay attention. I'm about to reveal a twist that will change everything. Recent studies suggest that the devil's music label was not just a metaphor. Some believe that the blues' haunting melodies and themes of despair were influenced by African spiritual practices and voodoo rituals. These elements, combined with the oppressive environment of the time, gave birth to a genre that was both a cry for help and a form of resistance. Wikipedia. Number 9. Jazz and the juke joints. Jazz, a genre celebrated for its improvisation and rhythm, but its roots trace back to places filled with vice and violence. In the early 20th century, juke joints were informal establishments in the rural South where African Americans gathered to socialize, drink, and dance. These venues were often the only places where black musicians could perform freely. However, they were also hotspots for illicit activities, including gambling and bootlegging. The Guardian 3. Get ready for a shocking twist. This will blow your mind. Some juke joints were rumored to be sites of supernatural occurrences. Patrons spoke of ghostly apparitions and unexplained phenomena, attributing these events to the intense emotions and energies released through the music. These stories added to the mystique of jazz and its association with the otherworldly. The Guardian, The New Yorker. Number 8. The psychedelic rock revolution. The 1960s, a time of peace, love, and psychedelic rock. But behind the colorful facade was a world of experimentation and excess. Psychedelic rock emerged as musicians sought to replicate and enhance the mind-altering experiences of psychedelic drugs through music. Bands like the Beatles, Pink Floyd, and The Doors led the movement, producing tracks that were both innovative and controversial. Pay attention. I'm about to reveal a twist that will change everything. While the genre promoted freedom and exploration, it also had a darker side. The use of hallucinogens led to numerous tragic incidents, including mental breakdowns and untimely deaths of prominent artists. Moreover, some songs were rumored to contain subliminal messages, influencing listeners' thoughts and behaviors in unforeseen ways. Number 7. Punk rock's anarchy. Punk rock, a genre that screamed rebellion and defiance, but its rise was marked by chaos and controversy. Emerging in the 1970s, punk rock was a response to the perceived excesses of mainstream music. Bands like the Sex Pistols and the Ramones championed a raw, aggressive sound that resonated with disaffected youth. Dead End Follies. Get ready for a shocking twist. This will blow your mind. Punk concerts often descended into violence, with clashes between fans and authorities. The movement also attracted extremist elements, leading to internal conflicts and tarnishing its image. Despite its message of unity and resistance, punk rock became a battleground for ideological disputes and societal tensions. Number 6. The dark descent of black metal. Black metal, a genre that delved into the darkest corners of human expression. Originating in the 1980s and gaining notoriety in the 1990s, black metal was characterized by its raw sound, shrieking vocals, and anti-establishment themes. Bands like Mayhem and Burzum became infamous not just for their music, but for their actions. Pay attention. I'm about to reveal a twist that will change everything. The black metal scene was marred by a series of violent incidents, including church burnings and murders. These acts were not just expressions of rebellion, but were rooted in extremist ideologies and personal vendettas. The genre's association with Satanism and paganism further fueled its controversial reputation, making it one of the most polarizing music movements in history. Number 5. Disco and the deadly dance floors. At first glance, disco seems harmless, sparkling outfits, mirror balls, and funky beats. But under those neon lights and glittered floors lurked something much darker than anyone ever imagined. Born in the underground clubs of 1970s New York, disco was an escape for the marginalized, Black, Latino, and LGBTQ+ communities. It was liberation. It was freedom. But freedom has a price. As disco surged in popularity, clubs became overcrowded havens of non-stop parties, places where rules disappeared and dangerous substances flowed like water. Behind every thumping beat, there were overdoses, breakdowns, and disappearances. Pay attention! I'm about to reveal a twist that will change everything. One such case was the mysterious tragedy at a Chicago club in 1979. During a Saturday night event, over 2,000 people packed into a venue meant for 1,000. The temperature soared. Suddenly, the air conditioning failed and a fire broke out. Panic erupted. Doors were locked to prevent unpaid entry, and 21 people never made it out alive. The incident was buried, covered up by media controlled by record labels. They couldn't let disco die, yet that same year, the infamous Disco Demolition Night at Comiskey Park symbolically ended the genre. Coincidence? Or industry cleansing? Get ready for a shocking twist. This will blow your mind. Decades later, urban explorers discovered an abandoned disco club in New Jersey. Inside, they found untouched drinks, turned over tables, and a DJ booth still powered, with records that hadn't spun in 40 years. But somehow were warm. Number 4. Reggae's revolutionary curse. Reggae is the sound of relaxation, right? Bob Marley, island vibes, peace and love. Think again. What many don't realize is that reggae began not just as music, but as spiritual warfare. Its roots lie deep within the Rastafarian movement, born from rebellion against British colonialism in Jamaica. Reggae wasn't just music. It was a coded language, a battle cry, a way to channel ancient prophecies. Bob Marley himself wasn't just a global star. He was believed by some to be a prophet. But here's where things take a sinister turn. Pay attention. I'm about to reveal a twist that will change everything. Bob Marley survived an assassination attempt in 1976, just days before performing at a peace concert meant to end Jamaica's political civil war. Conspiracy theories claim the gunmen were trained by the CIA to silence Marley before his music could unite the people and threaten Western interests. But Marley performed anyway, with a bullet still in his arm. 3 years later, he was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer in his toe. He refused to amputate it due to his Rastafarian beliefs. Within 2 years, he was dead. Was it really cancer? A declassified CIA document in 2018 revealed that covert agents had been watching Marley closely for years. Get ready for a shocking twist. This will blow your mind. In 2022, an old guitar tech claimed Marley's boots were tampered with, and that a wire embedded in the sole might have been laced with radioactive material. The boots disappeared the day he died. They've never been recovered. Number 3. Hip-hop and the hidden hand. Hip-hop is the voice of the streets. Born in the Bronx, raised by turntables, rhymes, and graffiti. But behind the explosive rise of hip-hop lies a hidden hand pulling the strings, and it might not be who you think. In the 1990s, hip-hop transformed from conscious poetry to violent tales of gangs and guns. Some rappers exploded into superstardom overnight, but many of them, Tupac, Biggie, Jam Master Jay, met untimely and violent ends. The question is, why? Pay attention. I'm about to reveal a twist that will change everything. In 1991, a secret meeting allegedly took place in Los Angeles. Record executives, private prison investors, and a few selected producers were invited. The purpose? To agree on a plan. Inject violence and crime into rap lyrics, to influence urban youth, increase crime rates, and fill private prisons. Sounds like a movie? Maybe. But the rise in gangsta rap coincided almost perfectly with the surge in incarceration rates across the US, especially for Black and Latino men. And here's the bombshell. One anonymous executive from that meeting confessed to the scheme in a letter in 2012. It was dismissed as fake, but a week later, the man was found dead. No ID, no history, no fingerprints. Get ready for a shocking twist. This will blow your mind. In 2023, a former Def Jam intern leaked a memo from 1993 titled Project Frequency Shift. It outlined plans for strategic cultural redirection through entertainment targeting inner-city youth. The document vanished from online archives within hours. Number 2. Country music and the Nashville Pact. Country music. Wholesome, right? Cowboys, heartbreak, and pickup trucks? Not so fast. The real story of Nashville is not one of country charm, but of a dark pact made in the shadows of the Grand Ole Opry. Country music rose to fame in the early 20th century, but it wasn't until the 1950s that Nashville became its epicenter. Behind the scenes, powerful families, many of them former Confederate sympathizers, formed a council known as the Circle. Their mission? To control the sound and the soul of country music. Pay attention. I'm about to reveal a twist that will change everything. In the 1970s, several up-and-coming country stars tried to break away from the Circle's control. One released a protest song calling the music industry a plantation with microphones. Within a week, he was found dead in a fiery car crash. His album? Never released. His tapes? Stolen. A chilling pattern followed. Artists who went too political or embraced rock influences vanished from charts, or worse. In 1997, a country singer named Ella Cross claimed during a radio interview that Nashville was run by a cabal who meet under the Ryman Auditorium every full moon. The next morning, she vanished. Her apartment was untouched, except for her guitar, left with one broken string that spelled out a single word in blood. Hush. Get ready for a shocking twist. This will blow your mind. In 2020, workers renovating an old Opry office found a hidden room beneath the stage. Inside, photographs, files, and contracts dating back to 1946, signed in red ink. One signature matched a well-known legend who had died decades earlier, but the ink was still fresh. Number 1. The unholy birth of black metal. You thought you already heard how dark black metal was? You've heard nothing yet. Let's return to Scandinavia in the 1990s. Norway, snow-covered churches, howling winds, and underground basements where teenagers in corpse paint screamed about death, chaos, and fire. Bands like Mayhem and Burzum didn't just sing about evil, they lived it. From church burnings to murders, the scene was soaked in blood and blasphemy. Pay attention. I'm about to reveal a twist that will change everything. The 1993 murder of Euronymous by fellow musician Varg Vikernes wasn't just a crime. It was, some claim, a ritual. Vikernes insisted Euronymous was trying to kill him first. But investigators found symbols carved around Euronymous' apartment, some dating back to pre-Christian Norse cults known for human sacrifice. One photograph, leaked but never officially released, shows something terrifying. Euronymous' blood formed a rune on the floor that translates to return. And here's where it gets even more terrifying. Get ready for a shocking twist. This will blow your mind. In 2019, a black metal archivist released a bootleg tape from a lost rehearsal. The tape contained what sounded like chanting in a dead language. Spectrogram analysis revealed hidden symbols embedded in the sound waves, symbols that matched ones found in Viking graves and early Christian exorcism manuals. And now, the moment you've waited for. Shocking final fact. The note that kills. In 2024, researchers at a sound frequency lab in Geneva discovered a precise sequence of frequencies, dubbed E. The dissonant code, capable of inducing nausea, hallucinations, and even heart arrhythmia in sensitive listeners. Here's the nightmare. This sequence has appeared, undetected, in multiple tracks across genres. From black metal to trap, even pop. The most chilling part? One unreleased jazz recording from 1954 contained the exact same sequence. The recording? Untitled. Uncredited. and when played aloud in the lab, a researcher collapsed. The track was named Track 00. It has never been aired again.